Welcome to the Diamond Mine Podcast with Nate and Laney, where we listen to all 92 Diamond albums certified by Billboard. Today's album is
Bat Out of Hell by Meat Loaf.
And before we get into anything, here's our news segment.
Welcome back to your music news. We've been gone for 2 weeks, so it's going to be...
A good chunk.
It's going to be rather rough. So I'm going to sit here and just scroll through my phone and see what I can find. Okay, Genesis fans have been looking forward to a reunion, but Phil Collins says that he will not be behind the drums. Isn't that depressing?
That's sad.
Yeah. Apparently after suffering a spinal injury in 2007 that damaged the vertebrae in his upper neck, Collins has been suffering from nerve damage, and it's made him difficult to even hold drumsticks. Which is so sad. Britney Spears is engaged, and her conservatorship has come to an end.
Good for her.
After finding that out, she actually cried for like 2 hours or something like that. So, we're proud of you, Britney. People want Operation Ivy to have a reunion at next year's Riot Fest. Or maybe it's supposed to be this year's. I don't know. That would be very funny. The Met Gala happened, and we saw a lot of our favorite stars.
Yes, we did.
People loved Billie Eilish. If you haven't seen anything going on with the Met Gala, maybe go give it a look, see what you like and don't like with their outfits. Dave Grohl has come out with a new book, and he's currently on a book tour, and I saw a video of him playing a Nirvana song, and he actually played the drums while the song played.
That's what's up.
Which is probably crazy. That has to be something. Billboard Awards and everything, that all happened. I have a list of winners, but I'm not going to read them out because this is a train wreck. Rolling Stone first published the 500 Greatest Songs list in 2004, when the iPod was relatively new and Billie Eilish was 3 years old. Since then, they have recently released a new list of songs, and All Star by Smash Mouth was not on there, and actually Smash Mouth, I think, was actually upset about that.
Oh, that hurts my heart.
Top 100 Most Influential People of 2021 features some of our favorite artists, including Britney Spears, Dolly Parton, Billie Eilish, Angelique Kidjo, I'm so sorry for that one, Bad Bunny, Lil Nas X, Kane Brown. Willow Smith is on there with her mother and Adrian Banfield Norris, but that's not for music, even though Willow is a musician now. I'm sorry, she always has been. Excuse me.
I whip my hand back and forth. I whip my hand back.
Guns N' Roses rumored to have another new single coming soon. How exciting. Let's see. Oh, Eric Clapton, he vowed not to play any shows that force people to have vaccines or negative COVID tests, but he actually ended up playing one.
Huh.
So he got a lot of backlash for that. Let's see, we're going to the Fugees will reunite for a special tour celebrating the 25th anniversary of their landmark album, The Score. That's a little fun fact. Charlie Watts, we mentioned his passing a few episodes ago, I don't remember when it was, but the Rolling Stones are back on tour without him. He actually did give the drummer permission, but on their first show they said about how like emotional it was and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also read recently that Mick Jagger has said that every show they play, it's like a kind of like a closure, like a rejuvenate, like it helps them. Let's see. I don't know what else I have.
Watch me whip. Watch me whip.
Weezer's Pinkerton turned 25.
How about that?
And Nirvana's Nevermind is turning 30, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or has turned 30. I don't know when that is. It turned 30 on September 24th. Congratulations to Nevada. Nevada. Alan Lancaster, the English bassist, best known as a founding member of rock band Status Quo from 67 to 85, passed away on September 26th. Rest in peace. I have more award winners, don't know what it was from.
Guys, it's been a little bit, and let me say, nothing has changed.
Cliff Burton, one of the... he wasn't the original bassist of Metallica, but he was one of the original ones. He was probably one of the best ones, other than Robert, who's in it now. His passing away anniversary was 35 years ago from September 27th, so there's that. R. Kelly faces a 100-year sentence after his convictions.
He believes he can fly.
Johnny Ramone's favorite guitar sells for nearly $1 million at an auction. The whole Naked Baby on the Nirvana cover, that thing's still going on. And Dave Grohl has stated that they've thought about different ways to maybe change the cover to cover that.
It's so iconic, though. That's like a top 10 most iconic album cover ever.
No, but the thing is, apparently, that it was supposed to be in the agreement that his private...
Pete Dinkle?
Yes, was supposed to be covered, and it never was. And I think that's why he's losing his mind, despite the fact that we've already said that he has tattoos and he's played it up for so long. But Dave Grohl's willing to just be like, yeah, we can figure something out, be creative, whatever. Moving on. David Bowie's long-lost 2001 album Toy will finally see an official release as part of the David Bowie 5 Brilliant Adventure from 1992 to 2001. Judas Priest guitarist Richie Faulkner hospitalized for major heart issue. This came out on September 29th. Recently, I learned that his aorta ruptured on stage. I saw the video. I saw the video of it happening.
How does that happen? Did he just?
He said it was really rare, and most people don't even make it to the hospital.
That's insane.
And he's like, I'm pretty sure he's recovered, which is completely crazy.
Wow. And
in the video, you can see he's kind of like, he's not really moving and stuff. And as soon as the song ends. And the song is called Painkiller. Hold on, wait. I took a screenshot of this. Give me a minute. Hold on.
She's getting there.
Maybe I didn't. But I think it was the song Painkiller. And then as soon as it ended, he just walked off stage and had to go to the hospital. Because it was it was in Kentucky. It was at the Louder Than Life Music Festival or something. Yeah, that's was crazy.
Insane.
Alicia Keys has a new documentary. Britney Spears has a new documentary. I haven't watched it though, but it's on Netflix. Mark Hoppus of Blink-182. He is officially cancer-free.
Shout out to you, Mark.
Great job, Mark. Iron Maiden, Somewhere in Time, turned 35 on whatever Thursday was. What's today?
Wednesday?
It was September 30th. Congrats, Iron Maiden. Oh, and Green Day went trending on Twitter because of the whole Wake Me Up When September Ends thing again.
Yeah, they always...
Again!
They do every year.
It's every year!
It's like, you're such a dork.
Let me read what Twitter says, though. The usual quips about Green Day and their hit song are being made as September ends, but some are remembering its true meaning. Wake Me Up When September Ends, which the band released in 2004, is a reference to the words lead singer Billy Joe Armstrong said to his mother as a child shortly after the death of his father. I think it's something that just stayed with me, Armstrong said on the Howard Stern Show in 2019. The month of September being that anniversary is always is just, I don't know, kind of a bummer. But he's even made comments about how people joke about it, and he's like, yeah, haha, it's funny, but get a new joke.
Yeah.
So, like, I kind of agree, get a new joke. Kendrick Lamar, Eminem, Dr. Dre, Mary J. Blige, and Snoop Dogg will be performing for this year's Super Bowl.
Snoop D-O-double-G, baby.
That halftime show is going to be absolutely whatever. Going back to the Rolling Stones being on tour, Mick Jagger was at a bar in North Carolina with Rolling Stones fans in the bar, by the way, and went unnoticed. How do you not notice Mick Jagger sitting there?
I guarantee his breath stinks. Sorry. He looks like it. He looks like the kind of guy. He has like bad gingivitis or something.
You think with the amount of money that this man is making, he has gingivitis?
Yeah. He got stank breath. Comment, like, and subscribe if Mick Jagger has stank breath.
Okay. Anyway, Billboard Hot 100 Top 10 chart dated on October 9th. And number 1, we have My Universe by Coldplay and BTS. Haven't heard it. Number 2, Stay by The Kid Laroi and Justin Bieber. Haven't heard it.
Sure you have. You've heard that. Told you to change.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay. I have
Yeah.
heard it. Number 3 is Industry Baby by Lil Nas X and Jack Harlow.
Yeah, you heard that.
Way Too Sexy, Drake.
That's a banger.
Future and Young Thug. I haven't heard that one.
I'm too sexy for this syrup. Too sexy for your girls. Too sexy for this world.
So it basically takes that other song,
Yeah.
that Prince
Too
Charming,
sexy for this ice.
singing Shrek, and took it. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Fancy Like Walker Hayes.
Fancy like Applebee's on a date night.
No.
I hate that song.
Haven't heard it. Bad Habits, Ed Sheeran. Moving on. Good For You, Olivia Rodrigo.
Haven't heard it. Oh,
Kiss Me More, Doja, and how do you say her name?
SZA.
Yeah. I was just making sure I wasn't being stupid. Knife Talk, Drake with 21 Savage and Project Pat. And then Levitating by Dua Lipa.
My name's not Rick.
No! My name's not Rick!
Is that the new segment?
Yeah, and that's it with your music news.
And we're back. And before I even get into social medias, it feels good to be back because we haven't done this in
A few weeks.
quite a while. If you haven't read on Twitter or anything, my computer broke at first, that was the initial issue.
Yeah.
Now I usually edit all the stuff, and so we had clips for one of the podcasts. I gave them to Lainey, and she edited them on her laptop, and then we've just had a lot of band and school stuff, and just everything has gotten in the way, and it's been an issue. And I've been also trying to figure out stuff about my computer and seeing if I can start doing the editing again, but for now we've got to compromise, and we are back.
Did you watch that episode that I edited?
I haven't watched it, I'm not gonna lie.
Don't be a fake fan. Please go watch it because I need you to watch it.
Okay, I will.
I need you.
But before we get into the album, social medias, our Twitter, TDM Pod, TDM POD, our Instagram, the Diamond Mine Podcast, YouTube for any of you audio listeners that want to see our face or vlogs or anything of the sort, the Diamond Mine. If you look up the Diamond Mine Podcast, we should be the first thing that pops up. So, how about you get into them details of that album?
This album was released on October 21st, 1977, so we're coming up on an anniversary actually. 7 songs, 47 minutes long, and it went 14 times platinum.
Let's just 47 divided by 7. That has an average of 6.7 minutes per song.
Well, the first song was 9:50, the last 2 were over 8, and then the middle ones were around 4 or 5.
Uh-huh.
So that's where we stand on that.
So even their shorter, or even his shorter songs were long.
Yeah, pretty much.
So are you good to get into the actual songs?
Yeah, let's get this going.
Alright, the first song is called Bad Outta Hell. This is the longest song in the album, almost 10 minutes like Lainey said. I was just assuming, I mean there's only 7 songs on this album, so you can kind of assume that all of them are going to be these like long epics, which quite a few of them are. This one comes in with this like jazzy piano, almost like you'd hear in a saloon, and that kind of sound happens throughout this album. Then there's just like this ripping rock and roll guitar, and it's really not what I expected from the singer of the song. What is it? The I could do anything for love.
Yeah.
Because that's the only Meat Loaf song I can think of off the top of my head.
I thought you were
going
about
into
to start
this.
singing it Tenacious D song.
No. He does though. He does sound like Jack Black. He sounds like, well, I guess Jack Black sounds like him, but
Yeah.
and I actually looked on the Meat Loaf Wikipedia, and Tenacious D was on their associated acts. So he sings like a medieval bard. I don't know if it's ever really appropriate for a song to be 10 minutes, but this is the kind of song that I can excuse being long because it is so full of energy. You're not going to get bored of this song because of how I guess passionate is really the only word. Like, his vocals are, like, he gets very into it. And with the ripping rock and roll guitar, you're just not going to get bored.
That's fair. Like Nate said, he just hammers on the piano in the beginning. It's a solid minute 54-second intro. It sounds like a rock opera, like Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody kind of thing. That's what I got. Which can take you into a whole bunch of other songs because it's all just, And then it kind of cuts into your typical 70s, 80s rock song, I think. And I think that was the guitar that really did it in. But we love the chorus. Absolutely love the chorus. There's a nice simple snare beat that picks up around 3.5 minutes. And it sounds like one of those, nothing can stop me anthems, like that kind of thing. And I wouldn't be surprised if somebody told me that they had this specific song in a musical. Which is funny because we later talk about how this album actually is a musical made by the composer Jim Steinfeld, which we'll get into. And they were supposed to tour in 2020 and postpone all of that. But he actually has a song or two in Rocky Horror Picture Show. Which I don't know if you've seen that.
I've never seen it, but I've heard of it.
Okay, no. It's a musical.
I think you're thinking of
really
Jim Steinman.
Oh, it is Steinman.
Yeah, you said Steinfeld.
That's Seinfeld. That's Seinfeld. Okay, Steinman. Sorry, Jim. Rest his soul.
God rest his soul. He actually died in 2021, sadly.
Yeah. So.
You good with that?
More time. No, I'm not done.
Okay, I was sorry.
There is an instrumental break around 6 minutes with a motorcycle rev, with more piano hammering and some guitar shredding once again. And this song didn't feel like a 9-minute, 50-second song.
No, it did not.
I mean, I think we really enjoyed it. Oh yeah, I wrote his name, Jim Steinman. So I just made up a name. And apparently he had a love for car crash songs. And he saw an operatic narrative within many of them and decided to write one about a motorcycle instead.
Huh.
Welcome to the song. Also, the album cover art, like it all kind of ties in. The song's protagonist is a boy who wants to take the girl he loves out of their dead-end town, but dies in the attempt. It is traditionally the last song played at a Meat Loaf concert.
How about that? The next song is called You Took the Words Right Out of My Mouth, in parentheses, Hot Summer Night. This is the longest song title on the whole 92 Diamond albums list so far, and
Yes, it
hopefully there won't be one that's longer than this. There was like some weird semi-sensual conversation going on between a man and a woman about getting eaten by like a wolf or something. I don't really know. Lainey, you'll get into it. The chorus is a banger, just very catchy. It's got these like 50 sounding doo-wop singers in the back for a good part of it.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the Ronettes, and I just thoroughly enjoyed this one. But I'll let Lainey explain the whole wolf thing, because I don't even get it.
Yeah, so initially I said strange narration. It lasts for 52 seconds if you want to know. I'll just give you the timestamp. This song is about the protagonist's first ever kiss with a girl and uses, like many songs on the album, vivid imagery and small details to help place the listener in his situation. The opening spoken word part seems to be about sacrifice, offering your throat to a wolf so the wolf can tear it open, and perhaps sacrificing his kissing virginity. The reception, it was mostly negative for this song, which that's understandable.
Uh-huh.
And it was due to the opening intro being too thematic and less entertaining.
That is definitely a complaint I could have. The intro is just like weird.
It's a little too much, personally. But after certain edits, it became more popular, but only charted at the 39th spot in the US in 1977. I did enjoy the harmonizing from the women in the background, and I also thought it sounded like the Ronettes and like that kind of doo-wop, take it back to the decade before. And it was a very theatrical song, which you can either love or hate, honestly, take it or leave it. And I understand what it's trying to say, and it's not a bad song, but it's just not something I would see myself listening to.
Yeah.
So we can move on from that.
The next song is called Heaven Can Wait. This one started off sounding lame, and I got nervous. I got very nervous.
I did too.
His voice, though, keeps it entertaining.
Meatloaf can sing.
Meatloaf, yes, he has a great voice.
Meatloaf can sing.
Also, my drawing of Meatloaf.
Meatloaf?
He's like... The best way to describe it, I tried to describe it earlier. There's a lot of energy in his voice. So even if it is just piano, like this song, where, and the piano player, to be fair, does go nuts during this, but even if it is just piano, Meatloaf's voice can drive the song to feel like you're listening to this loud rock and roll, like, oh my gosh, this song is so powerful, when it's really just a dude and a piano. And
he's not even the one playing the piano, by the way.
Nope. I would really like to see this song performed in like a big open acoustic area, like a big opera house or something, where he could really just get into it. Because
it's literally just him and the guy playing the piano, and he's just sitting there like, yeah!
That would be so sweet. That would be so sweet, but that's about all I have to say about that.
It is a heartfelt composition, and it sounds like a twisted hymn. I took those from both Song Facts and whatever iTunes said about it. But here's where we get into more of the facts. So Roy Bittan, from Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band, was the one who played the piano on the song.
Huh, how about that?
And once you know that, if you actually listen to the piano, you can tell.
I would have thought that it was just the composer and that he was just banging out the piano. I thought that's what I thought it was.
And according to Meat Loaf, the first time he heard this song was when Bette Midler sung it as a demo.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you who don't know who Bette Midler is, the easiest way I can put it is that she was the red-headed witch in Hocus Pocus. There you go.
For those of you that don't know what Lainey just said, here's an image.
No. Okay. I'll insert. Where was it?
Hocus Pocus.
Oh, explaining the song, things like that. No, I moved on from that.
Hocus Pocus.
Speaking of, it's October. It's getting close to Halloween. What do you all do for Halloween? Comment below. What's your favorite Halloween movie? Tweet at us or comment below.
Do you like pumpkins, particularly in pie form?
Do you like candy corn? That's a big debate, by the way.
Well, how do you feel about it?
I bought a bag today.
I think candy corn's pretty alright.
I bought one.
I can only eat candy corn in moderation, though.
No, it's the corn syrup. It messes with you really bad.
I can't stuff my face with candy corn.
And then side note, Lainey cut this out.
That's what's up.
Anyway, so... but explaining the song, Heaven Can Wait, because Meat Loaf... What did we say his real name was? Do you remember?
Wasn't it something weird, like Jermaine or something?
And you're telling me Meat Loaf isn't weird?
Fair. Oh, it's Marvin.
Well, that's better than Jermaine. Anyway, sorry if any Jermaines are listening.
Sorry, Jermaine.
But anyway, Marvin has found paradise right here on Earth with his true love. It's a sweet, meaningful song with heavy piano and some strings, and we all know how I feel about strings. I enjoy them. Next song.
The next song is called All Revved Up with No Place to Go. Sorry, I was reading a text message. First off, it starts off with Kenneth. Not really. But there's some sax playing and I got very excited.
He should have been featured on the sax part. He was old enough.
In the 70s? How old was he?
Well, child prodigy. He would have been like 12.
Fair enough. There is like an upper harmony on the chorus that really caught me off guard. And I really hope it was Meat Loaf and not a woman. Like, I really hope it was actually just his voice.
Unless he went back and recorded over the soundtrack, it was someone else.
It
was either that Ellen girl or whatever. I wrote a name down for later. You all will find out. Or it sounded like Robert Plant.
It does sound like Robert
Plant. Or Josh
Plant.
Kisga if you're into Greta Van Fleet. But it has yeah!
Mm-hmm. His pianist is very into it.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Kenny G would have been 21.
Oh, you just got the numbers backwards.
Yeah, he was born in the 50s, not the 60s. My bad.
I love the variety of sax on this song. There's a lot of high sax, but then there's also like I think it's a tenor or a baritone sax.
Love a good baritone sax.
When Meat Loaf sings, especially in this song, and I don't mean this in a bad way, so don't take this in a bad way. It's like he's forcing the lyrics into your ears, just like he is very pronounced in like, here is my song, listen to me. I am like, this is important to me. And I really, really like that. I really love Meat Loaf's vocals. The ending was badass. The pace just picked up, and it was awesome.
Right on. We basically covered the first half of my notes, but I could see this song being featured on Saturday Night Fever, which came out in 1977, or Grease, which came out in 78, which is actually kind of funny because they both have John Travolta in them. It's very weird. But it has a bluesy rock break within the song. I don't know if it's like the middle end of the song, but I really enjoyed that. And I think I would listen to this one too just as much, if not more, than the title track.
Screamer!
Next song.
The next song, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I'd heard this one before. I just didn't know that it was Meat Loaf, honestly. I really like this song. I love how passionate he is when he sings the chorus, and it's definitely something I could see myself driving in the car to crying, you know, just a vibe. I really like how the song just slowly builds up and gets more intense as it goes on with the orchestration and Meat Loaf's voice and just the hits that he has. And you can really tell on like the Cracker Jack box line where all the instruments drop out and he's just like, there ain't no Coupe de Ville, something Cracker Jack box. And then
There ain't no Coupe de Ville in the bottom of the Cracker Jack box.
in the bottom of the Cracker Jack
I think
box.
that's what it says.
And like when he says Cracker Jack box, all the instruments drop out, and then he's really just getting into it.
We felt that line hard, though.
Yeah, we both sang that one out. The orchestration on this whole album, not just this song, is brilliant. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, it's done by
brilliant.
a professional composer.
It's not only is Meat Loaf telling the story with his words, really hammering the story home with his voice, but just the instruments in the back and the orchestra, it's perfect. It's all very perfect in it. It very much so complements Meat Loaf's powerful voice. That's all I gotta say, though.
Yeah. Okay, so the bass really comes through in this song. It's very simple, but it's well needed. I enjoy a nice bass line. And there's a quote from the iTunes or Apple Music, whatever, that says, turns balladeering into a blustering art form, which as Nate says is how... Is that rain? Which as Nate says is how it really picks up and everything.
That is rain. Oh my gosh, it is coming down out there.
Great.
I didn't even know it was supposed to rain right now.
Didn't either. Anyway. But it's a love ballad sung from the perspective of someone breaking up with their significant other, trying to explain to them why the relationship is going nowhere and is, at this point, loveless. Which, if you read the lyrics, yes, you completely understand that, but it is almost like gut-wrenching if you are having that said to you.
Just like imagine that.
That's rough. But it also highlights the importance of love in relationships as opposed to just like desire, lust, whatever. And this is when you screamed, I love Meat Loaf.
Indeed, I do love Meat Loaf.
And I wrote that in all.
I really do.
Speaking of, I haven't had a good actual Meat Loaf in a very long time.
I'm not that into Meat Loaf the food.
School meatloaf, no. If it's like homemade meatloaf, I can get into it. But it all has the same taste.
I have to be in a certain mood.
It all has the same taste. Hit me around Thanksgiving, like a week or two before.
Oh, Thanksgiving. I'm so excited for Thanksgiving food. Anyways, The next song is called Paradise by the Dashboard Light. Before I even start talking about the song's about Bump and Fuzz for the first time. I was just gonna let y'all know, because, like...
For those of you who don't know it...
I was just gonna let y'all know before I get into the details of the song.
You literally just said, hey, no.
It's about Bump and Fuzz. So, the beginning of the song reminds me of the beginning of Roll Over Beethoven by the Beatles. Well, it's a Chuck Berry song, but the Beatles recording. I had heard this one too, and I didn't realize it until the chorus. This song is a much better first time song, if you catch my drift, than that J. Cole song. Because, man, I hate that song, and I really don't like J. Cole.
Sorry, J. Cole.
There was a certain point, though, where I was like, how are they going to do this for 5.5 more minutes? Like, it was getting a little bit stale. And literally, right after I asked that, the beat completely switched out of nowhere. And it was perfect. I loved it. Then it had, like, baseball announcers, like the baseball innuendo, like, getting a home run,
he's going back to second base.
Yeah.
He's on his way.
Just, that was a nice touch, and then there's build-up of the instruments and them as they reach closer to climax, and then it just drops. Everything drops out of nowhere, and the woman's like, "Do you love me?"
No, time out. Before it gets to that, though, it says something like, "What are you doing?" Or like, "Stop what you're doing," and you scream.
Oh yeah,
Did they get caught?
I got scared. That shows how into it I was. How the orchestration and the voice and the story, everything. I was so into it that literally when it was like, "Stop what you're doing," I screamed. Did they get caught? I was so invested in this imaginary story.
Let's take a side note for a minute. We're just going to go off path. You can listen in. So, this is from Pretty Woman for all you fans out there. Anyway, but there's like a line where he talks about, he takes her to an opera, and he's like, people either absolutely love it or absolutely hate it because of the voices in the orchestra and everything like that. Let's go to an opera. Let's see if
Nate
we
and
love
Laney
it
go
or
to
hate it.
opera. That'd be so fire.
Shatters the camera lens. Anyway.
This song is very funny. The orchestration along with all the motions of the nasty just go well together, and I found this song very entertaining.
Don't listen to it with your parents; it'll make you blush.
I wouldn't listen to it in the car with my mom, but.
Oh my God, no! That'd be so.
What are the odds that you have to listen to that song with your mom?
My dad's heard the song. We literally talked about it.
But with your mom.
With my mom.
Like in the car with your mom, you have to play this song. What are the odds?
1 through 10.
Okay.
She's probably like, what is this?
1, 2, 3, 4. Dang it!
What's that SpongeBob episode? Where he's sitting there with the secret box and goes. Insert. Okay, anyway.
We do a podcast.
Are you done with your notes?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Paradise by the Dashboard Light. It reminded you of Roll Over Beethoven?
Yep.
Okay, and then it reminded me of Crazy Little Thing Called Love by Queen. Compare the two if you'd like. But it does have a very iconic Chuck bass and guitar rhythm, and then like the beat I think is very similar for everything. It just carries over. Music repeats itself. I don't know. But Meat Loaf plays the character of a 17-year-old boy in a parked car with a 17-year-old girl, played by Ellen Foley. She's the girl I was mentioning earlier, and I think I might mention her again. I'm not sure. But as Nate said, sliding in, going in for the home run. And it is a complete switch up at 3:20, and my notes just reset, so give me 1 second. A complete switch up at 3:20 where it speeds up and turns more into a kind of a funky song, just like a nice funk rhythm, with the baseball game narration in the background, quite comical, and then Ellen sounds like Bonnie Tyler, and I actually had to look up who's in the song before I got here. And her part of the song where she's like, "Do you love me? Are we gonna end up together?" or whatever, it just sounds very clingy.
Uh-huh.
And we can move on to the last song.
Alright, the last song is called For Crying Out Loud. It has an emotional sounding piano opening. I was talking about how Meat Loaf has the perfect voice for these build up intense songs. This is a good song to end the album. Still intense and in the Meat Loaf style, but it's a slow burn. It builds up throughout. This is like the second or third longest song on the album. It's like 8 minutes 30 seconds ish. There's like 4 minutes of like, or 3 minutes of just like piano and him singing. But then there's just this massive slamming guitars and orchestral string, or not guitars, but like orchestral strings. I just wrote strings, that's why I got confused. Yeah. Strings and crazy good drums, and it was just nice. It was a good way to end the album, and then it all drops off, and then there's just 2 minutes of just kind of like basically just like a sayonara ballad, like, hey, thank you for listening to my album, is what it felt like to me. Like,
yeah,
it just dropped all the instruments out of the bottom, and it was just Meat Loaf and the piano again. The album, all in all, has been very pleasant, and that was a very pleasant way to send off the listener.
Yeah, you talking about how his voice fits. For a minute, he did kind of remind me of like Robert Smith from The Cure, if you kind of get into that genre, where it's more of like a gothic rock, I think. But for this last song, it started off very slow, and in my head, I was thinking, come on, Mr. Loaf, you've done great so far, don't let us down. But of course, I knew he wouldn't. Mm-hmm. So...
Mr. Loaf! Sorry, I just processed what you just said, bro. Continue.
Okay, but this track references many other tracks on this album. For example, Meat Loaf proclaims his love for somebody who was there for him despite everything. There's motorcycle symbolism, a multi-part structure, several false endings, and operatic vocals. It's a doozy.
Indeed.
Nate said it was a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster. This is a quintessential Meat Loaf track and the perfect closer to the bombastic Bat Out of Hell. During this song, though, Nate and I, we made some jokes, we listened, we loved the string section, or, I don't know if he did, but, is that what you said you loved?
Yeah, I was really into the
strings. The string
That's
section.
where I got confused and said guitar.
Yeah, okay. Around 4 minutes, and Jim is a great composer, and this album, along with his many other artist collaborations, really shows and reflects that. It's a good finish to the album, and it sits at 56 on the list.
So 1 through 92, where are you putting her?
I wrote 40-ish. Because I don't know, we have a lot left.
I'm not gonna lie, I liked this a lot.
How high?
I'll be generous and say top 20, but this could be in my top 10, lady. I loved this album.
You really like Meat Loaf?
I did not expect when I was going in that I was gonna like Meat Loaf, because the only song I could freaking think of was I would do anything for love. He's got so much more than that. So much more than that. All of the music is so impactful, and you feel it in your soul.
Here's the thing.
I felt it in my soul.
I wonder if his voice is still there, because Robert Smith's is, which is really crazy to think about. I wonder if Meat Loaf's has stayed the same.
I don't know, but Meat Loaf, you and Ron Steinman? Jim Steinman. Oh, I'm thinking of... Never mind. Jim Steinman.
Bless his name,
Mr. Steinman. You guys created a wonderful album.
Yes.
And I loved it. And maybe it'll move down because we'll listen to a lot more other wonderful albums and they'll get in my top 10. But for now, this is low on my top 10, high in my, high teens, low top 10.
Okay. Sorry, I'm tired. I yawned. Yeah, okay. Alright, well.
You have anything to say before I get into social medias and stuff and wrap this up?
Before social medias, I guess I'll just say follow us on Spotify, subscribe to us on the Apple Podcast, follow us on Anchor, however that works, Overcast, Pocket Cast, whatever you got. Rate us 5 stars on the Apple Podcast. I actually pressed the button by accident, but we did the thing where you can have a monthly donation to us. It doesn't have to be a lot.
Literally $1.
I think the lowest one is like 99 cents. So if you're feeling generous, you want to dig into your money bags, feel free.
But you don't have to. You don't have to.
No, you don't have to. I literally just pressed the button and then it set it all up and I was like, okay, well, I guess we're doing that now.
Yeah, we just do this and have a good time.
But if you do, then we can have some crazy better setups and...
More chalk markers.
And better quality. Yeah, the chalk markers. Maybe a green screen, an official ring light.
Yeah.
My bedroom, like...
Yeah, I gotta show you all this setup at some point.
More vlogs, things like that. You know, whatever. Subscribe to us on YouTube, like, comment, hit the notification bell, comment down below. I think I already said that. Subscribe, that's one I didn't say. No, I said it all, actually. Yeah, you can tweet at us, follow us on Twitter, which Nate will get into, and like and comment on our Instagram, which Nate is also about to get into.
The Twitter is TDMPod, TDMPOD. The Instagram, the Diamond Mine Podcast. We're on there every single time the podcast goes up, or if there is like a situation like where we couldn't get a podcast out that week. Generally, you're getting a couple day notice on the Twitter. Maybe not the Instagram, because Instagram's a little bit less convenient with just like posting stuff off the rip, because you have to have like a picture and blah blah blah. But the Twitter definitely. The Instagram still gets posted every single time a podcast goes up, though. And I guess that's about it. It's been good to do this again. Oh, yeah, I can say this. So, we do have a thing that we haven't done anything with it yet, but hopefully soon we will be doing something with it. Follow us on TikTok at The Diamond Mine?
I think it is. Let me double check. Also, follow our YouTube. All you have to do is look up The Diamond Mine Podcast, first thing that pops up.
Yes.
Our TikTok is,
I think it's The Diamond Mine.
I don't know. I follow a lot of random accounts.
I believe it's The Diamond Mine.
It's called Diamond Mine Podcast.
Diamond Mine Podcast. So follow us on there.
And apparently we have 7 followers already. Hello!
So, we will be posting just short little clips, like, funny...
Is that your phone or mine?
What's playing? I guess I got like an ad or something. I don't know.
I love technology.
Anyways, follow us on there. We'll be posting clips and stuff. This has been the Diamond Mine Podcast with Nate and Laney. We'll be back at you next week with ZZ Top's Eliminator.